My reputation is spotless. I'm highly skilled, patient, and good-looking to boot. Everybody wants to interview me. What else would you expect? The Russian glow cap is a glowing mushroom, so it'll recharge your batteries when you eat it. Don't know how to start the interview? Let me explain. Just hover the mouse cursor over to the play button and click.
All right, here we go. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome. Oh, hold on. Let's try this again. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to episode 17 of the Codec, our interview with Heather Halley. How are you doing today?
Very well. How are you guys doing?
We are great.
Great.
We're fantastic.
Did I get your name right now? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes, Heather Halley. It's perfect.
Perfect. All right, great. Because I know we had some problems before.
I said Haley in my video.
I've been saying Haley too. We all agreed it was Haley.
Guys.
We were all wrong.
I still do.
Thank you. As always, joined by KorruptRonin.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Happy to be here today, and thank you, Heather, for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you, Ronin.
And Yongya.
What's up, everybody? It's Young here, and welcome to our interview with Heather Halley. Thank you so much for joining us. I love your character in Metal Gear Solid 3. She was always she always made me laugh and smile, which was a nice break from all the violence and all that stuff happening in the background. But yeah, I absolutely love Paramedic, and it's awesome to finally speak to the voice behind the character.
Thank you so much, Young. It's so wonderful to be here. And thank you for hanging in with me, like I said, and making sure we got to get together.
Sure thing.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Awesome. Well, today, Yong is starting off the questioning. Yong, take it away, buddy.
Yeah, sure. So we always like to start off with this question. Just tell us a bit about yourself. Who is Heather Halley? How'd you get into voice acting, and how did you end up playing Paramedic?
Who is Heather Halley? I'm still asking myself that question every day.
Okay.
I have always loved voice acting, voice characters. I grew up in a little town in Ventura County, California, which is further than Los Angeles. And such shows as The Lone Ranger. Oh, sorry, do you hear the ambulance? See, I'm needed.
I get it. It took me a second.
No, I apologize for that. No, such shows as like The Lone Ranger has been filmed out here, Little House on the Prairie, Corrigan Ranch. So it's a very little small kind of Midwestern type of a town. It's a very sweet town. It was a great place to grow up. I had two wonderful parents. I unfortunately lost my dad a little over 20 years ago. But my mom has encouraged me, both my parents did, and I have a great family support and really good friends. I started doing theater at a very young age, and I started dancing, and I was very fortunate to dance with Patrick Swayze's mom, Patsy Swayze, out here in Simi Valley, where I grew up. And so that was an amazing experience, very much an amazing experience in my life, that time in my life. And I got to do musical theater. I did I danced professionally for 10 years. And I'd always had that side of me that I loved animation. I loved anime. I was a huge fan of Totoro. I even named Cat Totoro. Huge. Totoro. I love that. And I loved Jim Henson and the Muppets, and my dad and I always watched the Muppet Show, and I did have the opportunity to actually go and do puppeteering with the Jim Henson Company in New York, and that was amazing. Yes, I got to study with Kevin Clash, and it was really an amazing experience. So all that tied together, plus my father getting to work with Walt Disney. I was actually supposed to be raised in Kansas City, Missouri, but mom and dad ended up in Simi Valley, California. And my father grew up in the same town near, basically where Walt grew up. Mm-hmm. And so Walt ended up hiring my father, and we ended up living here. And that was really a pretty magical time as a child, because dad would come home with all this Mickey Mouse stuff. And it was amazing. And that was a very, very special time as a child. And that really, really placed a foundation with the voices. And so long story made long, I decided I would throw my hat in the ring in voiceover because I loved it so much. I loved theater. which was a big surprise to me because when I got into the booth for the first time when I was studying, oh my gosh, I was like, hey, trying to row, of ebb and flow. The ebb and flows in the back row, so you need to project.
Yeah.
And my poor voice teacher was like, oh, it's just
Yeah.
So she sat down with me and she was like, Heather, you need to pretend like there's a baby inside the booth with you. It changed everything for me. So it was this wonderful world, and it's such a pure form of acting. It really is, because a lot of people go, oh, everyone tells me I've got a great voice, I can do voice acting, and I'm like, I really think everybody can do voice acting, but it really is something that you really have to, like anything, you need to study. You need to study with somebody great if you can. And it is its own medium. It's definitely its own wonderful little niche in the world. So I was very fortunate to audition for paramedic. It was kind of a fluke. I didn't know anything about Metal Gear at the time, which is terrible of me. I found out it was just that opened up another world of fantastic, things. But I went into audition, and I thought this is a great character. I wasn't reading for paramedic though. I was reading for all the other, female characters. So I got up there, and Chris Zimmerman was the director, and she's amazing. She really is an amazing director. You just get the full-blown master class when you get directed by Chris. When you audition for Chris, you get a master class.
That's
You're
awesome.
sweating.
Wow. She's coming on our show.
Sounds fantastic.
Oh, is she really?
Yes.
Oh, she's great. Please tell her I said hello.
We will.
So Chris, I'm leaving the sound studio, and I'm feeling a little like, and Chris goes, wait a second, just let me just read this character. And I said, oh, okay. And I didn't have a chance to really get to go over it. She says, Heather, just read it.
Right.
So I took it in front of me, and I just read it, and it just was like, oh my gosh, I love this character. It's me. And Chris said, thanks, as normal, just, great job, good, And then I heard like a month or two later, and then I started doing all this research, and I was like, oh my gosh, what did I fall into?
Right.
This is,
it's huge.
it's amazing.
Yeah,
it's huge.
Fantastic.
It's hilarious because that story is literally a word-for-word parallel to our Christopher Randolph interview.
Yes.
He went in to audition for actually Snake, I believe.
Yeah.
And as he was leaving, he told us that Chris did the same thing. She said, wait, come back and try this character. And he ended up being Otacon.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
She's got a knack for that. She can tell who belongs in
She
what
really
roles.
does.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that truly is.
It is amazing. If I ever see Chris, I'll get a chance to, to talk to him about that. That's very cool.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Now, if I may ask, what are some of your favorite like musical theater plays or musicals? Because I'm into musicals and theater actually, and I love hearing about other people's thoughts.
You do musical theater?
Yeah, I do both plays and musicals.
That's so cool. I love dark stuff. I'm like to the woods, all that fabulous, kind of Tim Burton-esque type stuff.
Yeah.
I did The Fantastics. I have to say that's probably one of my favorites.
I'm actually auditioning for that this coming semester. Yeah.
Nice.
I want to play El Gallo.
You are so El Gallo.
Really? I'm sorry?
Oh my God. I said, who do I have to talk to?
Oh.
Right?
El Gallo.
Yeah.
Young. No, honestly. It's a great musical. It's one of my favorites. Believe it or not, I played the mute.
Oh, really? The wall?
Oh, wow.
Really?
I played the wall.
That's a great role, though.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Fantastics, if you've told your teammates here about the musical, but it's the wall. Actually, I was on stage for 99% of the time, and it's normally played by a guy. It was the longest running musical on Broadway for a very, very long time, and it was great. Patsy Swayze actually said, "Go audition for this." She said, "But Heather, let me tell you one thing. She says, I think you'd be great for this role, but you have to keep your mouth shut. You gotta keep it shut.
Yeah.
So it was that's probably, if not one of my favorites, I'd have to say, for me personally, because I was fortunate to perform in it. I love the Fantastics. I got to do Hello Dolly.
Wow.
I mean, oh gosh, I'm trying to think of the throw some at me. What are some of the ones that I almost got to do Cats.
Oh,
that
yeah.
would have been cool.
Pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Cats is very cool.
Yeah.
Oh, you'd be great in that. I could totally see you in Cats. Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
There's so many, and I'm so excited, Young, that you're actually auditioning for the Fantastics. You have a great El Gallo look.
Oh, thank you. Well, hopefully, because I know he has like a Latino accent, and like in some iterations.
He is suave. You know, he's very suave, and he is the one that, and actually, the Wall is very much your support system.
Right.
And you know, and really tries to bring you together with Lady Love. So,
all right. Well, when I audition, I'm gonna present them this video. Be like, look, Heather Haley approves. So just saying, you should consider me.
Please do.
You'll get it for sure. I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, that's cool. I'm glad you guys have that in common. I appreciate all that stuff. Granted, I'm not a play or actor myself, but I love watching it. Young actually just did some voice acting today for a video release today. So it was pretty cool to see that. But Ronin, what's your first question for?
Absolutely. So I know you mentioned that you looked at the character for paramedic and you said that was you. So my question is, what is it about her personality traits, or what sort of personality traits of hers line up with yours?
That is a great question. And something that I tried to use as preparation, or as I was going through it, she loves films, which is one thing I love. She loves animals. She really, even though when she's speaking to Snake, she really does love to, there's one scene that I love so much where paramedic falls from out of nowhere onto a horse, and she's telling Snake, don't even think about eating this horse. I know you want to eat it, but you're not going to. And she literally comes down and kind of, body slams it. So that's kind of that opening of, like, she does have a little bit of that badass.
Right.
To her,
That's from which game? The other game?
Yes. But she's quirky.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
She's a little, I hate to say this, but I can be a little ditzy in a good way.
Right.
Some of the most intelligent people. Paramedic was thought of to be a quack. A little,
right.
Looking on that, that's her eccentric, very intelligent. I think sometimes intelligence is looked at as quackery, or she goes into cloning, which is such a, that's a huge dive into the medical field. So I think that stuff was looked upon, especially back then in the 60s, around 64, and, you're dealing with the Vietnam War and all that stuff, that I think that's why I think she's misunderstood. She's definitely misunderstood. But I think her heart is always in the right place, and I try to do that myself. I try to always make the right choices, and I like helping. There's that volunteering thing that I love. Yeah. I really do. So
absolutely. Well, thank you for that.
Very cool.
Now, speaking to you right now, you actually sound a lot like paramedic. I know some people sound like their character, some don't. You're just paramedic. I don't know.
One for one.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, you know what? I think that's that. I don't know any other way to, and I think maybe, thankfully, that's why I was cast, which was a huge success.
We've spoken to some people who have like a really close voice to their character, but we've talked to other people who have completely different voices from their character. Right. So it's cool, to see which ones have it, and which ones kind of have to work at it and that kind of thing.
Yeah, Christopher Randolph, for example, he sounds just like Otacon.
Yeah.
Just like Otacon.
Otacon.
Yeah. And David sounds nothing like Snake.
And I know you and I spoke about that daily about
Yeah.
when I first met David.
Right.
And
You should tell that story. It was awesome. If you got a second
Sure,
to
I
tell
don't mind. I don't want to. I went in and it was David and Jim and I. It was the Major and Snake, and I sat right in the middle of the two of the gentlemen, and I hadn't met either of them. And I walked in, and there was David, and he was working on, he was working on his computer, he was always had something going on in that brain of his. And I walked in and I said, "Oh, hi, how you doing?" And he said, "Hey," and I said, "My name's Heather," and he's like, "David," and I said, "David," I said, I'm just, this game is amazing and stuff, and you're playing Snake, and he goes, "Oh yeah," and I said, "Do you do any other things?" Because we were at the same agency at the time, and he's like, "No." He's like, really?
Typical Dave.
Yeah. And I went, "Oh," I'm like, "Hey, don't worry about it. There's plenty of time. Just keep at it. Other voices. It's gonna be great." And I go, "Do you do anything else?" He's like, "Well," he goes, "I write a little." And I go, "Oh, you do? That's great. That's fabulous." I go, "What have you written?" He's, "Oh, X-Men." I said, "You are so fired. I'm going to..."
Yeah, right.
And I walk outside. It's just so funny because he really is that humble old guy.
Right.
Yeah, he
Really
is.
is.
Yeah, he
He's
is.
a very human. What you see is what you get with David.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that story when you told me. I was laughing really, really
Yeah,
hard.
Because
I
he
just
was
wrote
like,
X-Men, not a big deal.
yeah, I'm not Brian Singer is Halle Berry. That's okay. So
Yeah,
pretty.
he was our first interview
Yeah.
guy. He was the first person we ever interviewed, and we got that same kind of vibe. He came on. He was like, "I'm just David Hayter. Nobody special. Oh, yeah, I'm Snake, by the way." So,
Snake. Yeah.
right. So, Young, it's you've got the next question for Heather.
Yeah, so I know you mentioned that you actually didn't know much about Metal Gear prior to auditioning, and then, so after you got the role, did you by any chance play any of the games or research the lore at all, or did you feel as though you just needed to focus on this particular game on your particular role?
I had to focus on this game for the particular role,
Yeah.
but I did have the opportunity to. I bought Metal Gear Solid, Snake Eater, and I had the PS4. Am I able to say PS4? I know everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, Heather," and I loved it. But my brother ended up coming into wanting to play it, and he was up all night playing it. So I had to come in and out and watch because he'd say, "Heather, I
Right.
chose to the." And eventually I got to sit down and play it. But as I was doing the role, I really tried to focus on research, talking to people that were huge fans of the game. I really wanted to get their input. And I've met some of the most incredible people in doing so, like you guys.
Oh.
And
Appreciate
no,
that.
very honest. Genuinely people that loved it and love these characters and really believe, like I do, if you can do something, you put your heart and soul in it, because everybody that loves this game, you really have to, I think, with any character, so you can believe that they really exist
Of course.
on a different place somewhere. Because when you get back onto that game, you want to know. All right, I would hope people would go, "You know what? I want to call paramedic," not, "Oh my gosh."
Yeah.
You're gonna start
Exactly.
thinking about the movies. So I really tried to focus on the research within the script and what I could find online, and really try and focus on that. But I did love seeing the game, and of course I had to go in and see those beautiful visuals that Hideo had created for all of us. So
Right. I
Very
got
cool.
I've got a question that kind of, I guess, tags along with that. When you were doing the particular role, were you aware that Metal Gear is such a great example? I don't think a lot of games do this, but your role in the game is purely, well, in Snake Eater, is purely just voice. You never see the character really, and it's optional. You can play the whole game without really talking to paramedic very much at all, other than a few certain situations. But people tend to fall in love with those characters, even though they don't play a huge role in the game predominantly. It's like an optional thing. Were you
Right.
surprised about how much people actually enjoyed your character from it being such an optional part of the game?
Very much so, Daily. I was taken aback actually because that's very true. You don't see paramedic moving. You get to just see a flat, flat visual of her. I was very, very pleasantly surprised of all the love that I got, and it still to this day it still blows me away when people say. I called paramedic and it was 4 o'clock in the morning and I was trying to get out of the bushes and I had to call to get the noodles, instant, the exits.
Yeah.
Really,
I did that for everything. I called paramedic just to see how
I did too.
everything would
I did
taste.
too.
I told you I need to send you those calorie mates, but
Right.
something that hit me the other day was I was telling you that I studied with Patsy Swayze. And it was on Facebook actually. Patsy Swayze's grandson was a soldier in the Middle East during all of this stuff that's been going on recently there, and he liked something that someone had said about Metal Gear on Facebook, and then his name is Jesse Swayze. And if he ever watches this, I want to say, just thankful to all of our soldiers, all of our men and women, and all of the soldiers out there that play Metal Gear as well.
Yeah.
But Jesse said that he goes, "Oh, Heather," he said, "I used to play this at nighttime when I was in the Middle East."
Wow.
And I was just blown away.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh my gosh, it made me feel like, it's going to make me cry. It made me feel like I was,
Aw.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah,
It's
it's
okay.
all right.
Take your time. Take your time.
sorry, it made me feel like I was actually there with him. And that maybe a part of what I do
Wow.
actually helps other people or maybe escape, So it really kind of hit me like,
Definitely does.
whoa,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because if we're not doing that as actors, then we're not doing our job.
Right.
That's very.
It's powerful. It's
So
very
many,
powerful.
so many actors say that one of the, the biggest joy that they get is influencing people in such ways. And, we're very happy to know that you feel, because you have influenced a lot of people, including us, with your amazing performance. So, just thank you. Yeah, it's very touching.
I can tell you personally, when you're playing Metal Gear Solid 3, it definitely feels like Paramedic cares, like not just about Snake, but about the player. And I think that's very, very cool because, I really haven't gotten that feeling from really any other game. Like any other game feels like the characters care about, the other characters in that universe. But when you play, Metal Gear, especially in the third one, and I urge anybody who hasn't played it in a long time to go back and play it and just listen to that voice performance that you give. I feel like, wow, like you sound so nice and so caring about the player and the game at the same time.
I would keep calling paramedic until the dialogue loops again.
Yeah, right.
Just to get every single line possible.
Thank you very much. You made my year.
My question for you is, were you aware that your character was going to become kind of a bad girl, so to speak?
No, I had no idea, but I was so glad she did. So glad she did.
I think that's amazing.
So glad. I had no idea. No idea.
Right. So I think we're getting that from a lot of the voice actors that we interview. Is they know about their role in that specific game, and even sometimes in that specific game that they're doing the voice role for, they don't get all of the details until after the game is out. So I think that's cool that because that makes the voice performance in my opinion just that much better because you're honestly trying to be good, and then you can see a progression as the character turns. And I wouldn't say paramedic is evil. It just really depends on your perspective your perspective of who's right and who's wrong in that story universe. But we're gonna go out of order real quick because I think Yong has a tag along question for that, and then we'll get back to you, Ronan.
Yeah, so speaking of becoming a bad girl, have you heard about the new Metal Gear game, Metal Gear Solid 5, that's coming out?
No, I don't know anything about it.
Oh, really? So there we go. I was gonna ask, are you involved in any way? Because the character seems like she would maybe fit in that timeline between Snake Eater and the future games, because that's, I guess, sort of the time when she turns bad and starts doing all these things. So I suppose you just haven't heard much about it at all.
I love you, Young. You guys are just awesome. We need to dial up. Do we have Hideo's Skype number on here?
We
I
wish.
we did.
Yeah.
Hideo! No, I honestly don't know anything about it, and I don't know if they're going to do any type of incorporation of paramedic. I would love to be in it, but as far as I know, unfortunately, because I would definitely tell you guys if I was going to be voicing or doing anything like that, but no.
Man, we would love. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say I'm sorry I interrupted you, Young.
No.
I was again fortunate enough to do voice the Video Game Awards 2 years in a row, and the second year Hideo was honored. I was up in my little trailer, and I didn't get a chance to meet him, but I was like, I just wanted to hit the the button, the microphone button, and be like, Hideo,
my man.
you and put me in Metal Gear 4, 5. It was he and Guillermo del Toro, who's another one of my huge. We were talking about that daily phone. Huge influence, and I love Guillermo, and I'm hoping that the two of them are going to get together and do something insane. It's crazy, but no, I was just going to say that I tried to corner Hideo, but I
gotcha.
sadly I did. If I had.
We'll tweet at him today after it's over. We'll tell him you sent your love.
I was just gonna say that we would have loved to hear a more, I guess, villainous side to paramedic. I'm just seriously like wondering.
I would have loved to have done it.
Yeah. I mean,
love to have done it, because I think that if when studying paramedic, how Hideo had her broken down as far as the character. She really did have a lot of skills.
Right.
I mean, she had a lot of skills. I mean, she was very skilled with knives. Not so much with rifles and stuff like that in the long range.
Yeah.
She was very skilled with knives and small guns, and she was a toughie.
Nice.
In my backstory, and this is also for Young, but the backstory that I had for her, she was kind of like the character that Gina Davis played in Long Kiss Goodnight. I don't know if you guys have seen that film or not.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's been a while since I've seen it, but yeah.
Yes, you guys have to watch that film, because she's like this badass CIA, FBI agent.
Yeah.
She loses her memory, but then she gets it back. So I see paramedic kind of like that, to kind of having that thing, and that she kind of, instead of gaining her memory, she kind of goes, off the charts, and it's like, she cuts her hair, she dyes it blonde. She's just total rogue.
That sounds very, very cool.
Awesome.
I'm a little disappointed that we lose David, we lose Jim, and now we don't have Heather in the fifth game. That's disappointing.
I'm disappointed too. I'm disappointed David's not, I know, because Snake is, and we talked about that too on the phone too.
Yeah.
Keeper's a
We had
very
a good little talk.
Yes, we did. We had a wonderful talk. I just talk. David Snake.
Yeah.
I know, it's frustrating, but I really appreciate you guys, though, in saying that. It means a lot.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Ronin, your next question for Heather.
Ronin. You're so cute. All of you are so cute.
Well, thank you.
All right.
So, playing through Metal Gear Solid 3, the player can always call paramedic up and ask questions about, what the food is, or the Russian glow caps, for example.
That's right. Russian glow cap is a glowing mushroom. So it'll recharge your batteries when you eat it.
Boom. There you go, folks. Knowledge on the codec. So,
sorry, Ronin.
No, it's totally fine. It's great.
Love this glow cap.
But to add on to that question, just how extensive was, the script and the dialogue for recording those moments? Because you could go through like minutes and hours worth of dialogue to have paramedic tell you all that information.
It was huge. I had to go home, and I went and I bought the index cards.
Right.
And I would have to write each flora, fauna, plant, animal, and I had to put it on there. I had to phonetically write it, and then on the back, 'cause I had to try and memorize what it meant.
Oh,
So
wow.
I really tried to do all of that stuff extensively because, you know, God bless David and Jim, but there's only, and everybody else that worked on it, there's only so much time. And if you Heather there going shikabaka loka loka la, you know, what does that mean? Glowing mushroom. So I really wanted to make sure that I was able to get in there because it was a vast amount. It was a huge amount of stuff. And I wanted to make sure that I got in there and I knew it. So everyone else was like, you know, because I wanted to be paramedic.
Right.
As opposed to, hey, you know. Very, very good question. It was a lot. Yeah.
Oh, man.
That sounds crazy.
It was crazy. It was I mean, when I got the script, I thought, oh, Heather, you got to do your homework. Whether it's Russian bill caps or, you know, like we were talking about calorie mates, you know, or parrots, or, you know, you know, Hideo, I think, had something. There was like a behind the scenes thing where Hideo was saying that, I think it was, I'm not too sure, but I think that there was a parrot, the large parrot. There was a parrot that Hideo had that joke that Emma's parrot was I think was she in Liberty? Emma was in Liberty.
Yeah, Emma.
Was the grandson of the N's parrot.
Oh.
That's cool. Behind the scenes lore.
Yeah, and that's that's Snake Eater. So it was really, you know, it's stuff like that that's very cool. It's unclear. I don't know if that actually happened, whether Emma's and the N's parrots are actually the same bird, but I think they are.
Ooh.
The
plot
theories.
thickens.
The theories out there.
You fit right into the Metal Gear community with the theories.
Right. I hope so.
Young has the next question, but before we hop into it, I just wanted to check on your time, Heather. I didn't get a...
I'm fine.
Okay, perfect. Great.
So good. You guys okay?
Oh, yeah, we're good.
We're great.
I'm going to take a little sip of tea.
Oh, please.
Go
right
for it.
ahead. For my next question, so we talked about some of the plays and musicals that you love, but you also stated you love movies, just like paramedics. So what are some of your favorite movies?
Oh my gosh, that's huge. Well, I love Japanese horror movies. I mean, oh my gosh. I think they are the utmost. Japanese films in general, I think, are so beautifully done. They're so simplistic. They're so understated, and they're so, you know, people. I mean, the acting just gives me chills. The acting is so good. It's like when I watch, like, for instance, The Audition. I don't know if you guys have seen The Audition.
I've heard
That's
of it.
another one on your list. Oh my gosh, you have to see that film.
All right.
Gonna put that down right now. Yep.
The first half hour of that film, you're going, okay, you know, I know it's scary and stuff, and then you're like, whoa! I mean, you are just tossed back, and it's just your feet are. It's amazing. It's an amazing film. And getting back to just the acting is so visually, the Japanese films are beautiful anyway. Japan is such a beautiful place, but it's just the acting is so understated. It's not two heads talking. It's just and it's so well acted that even though you have the subtitles, you know what's going on. You know what's going on. So
I know what you mean.
Oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So go, oh, subtitles, I don't want to watch. That's like Guillermo del Toro's films. You know what's going on.
Right.
But for instance, The Audition. The Audition is great. Ichi the Killer. I mean, there's so many films. The Corridors. I could go on. But then I love Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. I mean, that to me, and I know Paramedic loved that film too, and Dr. Strange loved. You know, Abbott and Costello are the quintessential fabulous, and I've seen that film about 200 times. Every Halloween, even Christmas time, I start watching it.
Wow.
It's night before Christmas, and then it's, you know, Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. And
that makes the character so much more believable to have the same traits.
Awesome.
Did you enjoy the Ring? I remember that being one of the Japanese
Ringu.
horror movies.
Love.
Oh,
love.
What about Ju-on at all? Or their version of The Grudge?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. High five on that.
High five. All right.
Yeah, webcam 5.
And there you go. I think the Japanese version is better than the American version.
Yep. I agree.
Same with the
say
ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, there's
Yep.
something that just, I don't know. It's just, again, it's that subtlety.
Yeah.
It's just that subtlety that you just, it get you. You know, you don't know what's,
Yeah.
it's brilliant.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
I don't know what it is, but just the Japanese version absolutely terrified me when I watched
Yeah.
it. And
Oh my
when I watched the
gosh.
American version, I was like, this is like a parody
Yeah.
of the Japanese version. I just
I have to agree. I
Yeah.
have to agree. Yeah. And
Yeah.
not the, you know, it's just so different.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
so night and day. And it is. It's just something that's much darker about the Japanese version. Yes. You don't have to, they don't visual. Oh, yeah.
Don't get her started.
Now I
That's
have to
great.
go back and I wish we could all do like a, you know, like a what is a sleepover.
let's
We
do
need to
it.
do it. We need to do
I'm in. Why not? Watch all those movies.
It's gonna happen.
Oh, goodness. Ronan, you've got the next question for Heather.
Right, Ron.
Alrighty, let's see. I gotta scroll down the list here.
Oh, wait. Are we on Young? We got so involved in the conversation.
I know. It's like we got.
My
I
fault,
think.
tangent.
I skipped the I scrolled too far down on the.
Yeah,
that
the
was my
page-
question. I asked about
Okay.
the favorite movie.
Okay,
Alright,
so
perfect.
the
Yeah,
page
then
right
we
there.
are on you.
Yeah.
I'm on my game and I don't even know it.
You're doing great, man.
It's the meds, man. It's the meds.
It happens. It's been a while, you know. We're just getting back into it.
Dioxin, right?
Need some calorie mates. Recharge.
Boom.
I always preferred the instant noodles.
Yeah, those, you know what? I wish somebody would. I need to try them. I haven't tried them yet.
What?
Really?
Really?
I know, guys. I know.
Wow. All right,
Wow.
I'm on it. We're
Gotta arrange that.
Gotta make it happen. Gotta make it happen.
All right, Ronan, take it away, buddy.
All right, so I know you talked a bit about your love for Japanese horror films, but are there any other parts of the Japanese culture that you're a fan of?
Oh, what not am I a fan of? It's such a beautiful. It really is. I actually have a very dear friend that's in Sendai. It's living in Sendai right now
Mhm.
with his family. And
wow.
in fact, this morning he sent this beautiful video. I can't remember what river he was sitting at, just having a bite to eat, and there were these beautiful bats out of nowhere. It was just gorgeous. I think that the Japanese culture is something that I would love to obtain much more in my life, actually. Just well, you know, it's funny because I've had Japanese friends say to me, you know, Heather, your family structure is very Japanese, and I would take that very much as a compliment because we are a very close-knit family, and I am very close, you know, with my mom. My mom actually lives with me. So, and I know in Japanese culture that, you know, families of great importance.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that in Japan, a mother and daughter can actually walk hand in hand. And,
Right.
you know, it's just
Yeah,
this
yeah.
beautiful sense of respect of the elderly in the family,
Yeah.
generations. And I love that aspect. And I think that Japan in general is just such a beautiful country. I mean, it's just gorgeous. I love the cherry blossoms. And, oh, I mean, it's pristine. I wish I could be. My brother actually he can speak Japanese, and he's
Awesome.
learning to speak more. So, I mean, I
wow.
love going to J-Town here in Los Angeles, and I'm always just amazed. I love the food. I can't eat the eel like my brother can. Me in a noodle house, and I'm crazy. Crazy.
Oh, so you live in LA too?
I do. Are you in
Wow.
LA?
No, I'm not. But well, a lot of our guests are in LA, and
Yeah.
I feel like you guys should all have sleepovers.
I was actually there like a week
Yeah, you were
ago.
there a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh, Young, and you didn't.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't even.
wrong with me?
I wasn't even aware that you lived there.
All right. No, we're gonna.
Yes. We're
right,
all
it's
gonna.
gonna
No
happen.
excuses this time, y'all.
I
No
know.
excuses.
We're gonna get into
For
texting
none of
group.
you. Each one of you, there's no excuse, Ronan.
All right.
Haley.
Yeah, Ronan. Damn it, Ronan.
All right. Hey,
All right,
hey.
it's gonna happen.
Working on it.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, because I mean, David Hayter's there. Quentin Flynn is there.
Quint, I just heard from him the other day.
Really?
Did you?
Yeah, Quint's
Oh, wow.
a very dear friend of mine.
That's awesome. We've had him on our
Awesome.
show twice now, and he loves coming on our show. He gets
He's a good
to
guy.
you know Quentin. He gets to go
You
off
know
on his
Quentin.
rants and tangents and stuff.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
We had him and David doing Beatles impressions together.
Oh my gosh, George.
Yeah,
Oh,
they were doing that. It was hilarious.
yeah. Yeah. Yes, that is Quint to a T.
Who
To a
else?
T.
Tasia.
Yeah,
Tasia's
Tasia.
in, and Tasia Valenza.
I have not had the opportunity. We met once many years ago. I'm trying to think. Well, Lori Allen.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
we're trying to get her on our show so hard.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
just-
I will treat her like a peck at her. Yes.
Thank you.
I will get her.
She knows about us. She tweeted our co-host Yong here a couple times. We just need to get that little final push, and then
Absolutely.
Debbie Mae West as well.
Debbie Mae West, and she's another bird person like I am. Or wait, no, yes, is she? Does Debbie have I think Debbie might have a parrot. I don't know.
I think she did mention something about having a bird or something.
Yeah.
She was telling us about she's all into that Cali lifestyle now. She's
Was
surfing
that the Cali lifestyle?
Yeah. Birds and surfing. So I think that's amazing that you guys all of these great actors in one place.
Oh, bless your heart.
I need to move to LA. I mean, what am I doing here?
Oh,
I'm saying. I've got a quick question before we switch back over to you, Young.
Yeah.
I was looking over your IMDb page the other day, and I noticed that you've been in quite a few other games. You've been in Soul Calibur, you've been in Ace Combat, you were in Dead Rising 3.
Yes.
Do you have like as big of an attachment to these other game series as you maybe do to Metal Gear? Is there any other ones that you like just as much?
I loved doing the Dead series because I love zombies. I'm a big Dead Walking fan. Walking Dead.
Right.
Dead Walking.
Yes.
I love
Series by Heather Haley.
Yes, the new
Heather
series.
Haley.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Although the very first show was so traumatic for me when the horse gets, I can't, the whole horse thing. Don't eat the horse.
Oh, yeah.
Eat the people, just not the whole.
People, I'm cool with eating the people. Eat them all. Take them. Don't get me started. Paramedic is so dear to my heart, and I spent so much more time with her. I loved doing the Dead series. I got to do several different characters.
Right, your
So it
main
was a lot
character
of
was
fun.
Eric, I believe.
Yes, and I got to play a newscaster. So throughout the series, she gets to come on and kind of tell people, go and get the shot, stay inside. If somebody's walking, shoot them in the head, and Chloe Valance, she's very similar to. It's kind of like she's a paramedic that's royalty.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. And younger, but I've been grateful for all the roles that I've played.
Right.
But paramedic, I think, is really the one that has been very near and dear to my heart.
That's great.
Yeah, I think I spent so much more time with her. I would have loved to have spent more time with the other ones, but there are various roles too, which is funny. I got the sexy, which I just don't see, but thank God for voiceovers. He's all right. You see. It's that in itself is great about voiceovers. You don't have to leave. You're always welcome to come to LA, but that's the great thing about voiceovers too, is that you can do it anywhere.
That's true.
And you can do a great musical, and you can do a great film and whatever. And so many things are spread out throughout the country, which is good.
Yeah.
I love seeing production kept here in America. So it's cool.
I was just super surprised to see you in a game like Ace Combat. I don't think a lot of people notice you, but I believe you're one of the briefers, or a voice that you can hear in the cockpit sometimes, when they're doing like the mission briefing. And I was like, wait, who is that? That sounds
Why does
very,
that
very
sound so familiar?
Like you just don't. It's just have such a wide range of different characters and stuff from all over. So I think that was amazing, and I wanted to squeeze that question in. So, y'all, over to you, buddy.
Oh, yes. Where am I? Man, we just get lost in these conversations.
Yeah, I know.
It's great. It's great.
Love it.
There we go. Okay, so I've got to ask, did you record with David Hayter a lot? Because in my perspective, in an alternate world, I feel like Snake and Paramedic would hook up. I really do. I feel like they have such good chemistry with each other in this really quirky way. I love it. And so I've got to ask if maybe you two being in the same room and doing these lines together has anything to do with that?
That's such a great question. Yes, I definitely think so. I definitely think that helps the feel of it. I don't think it would have been the same had I not recorded with David. And it was the whole time. The whole time I did paramedic, David was there.
Wow.
Unless it was something that, a line or something that I needed to come back and do or whatever. But the majority of the time, I'd have to say 99% of the time, David was there.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it was really cool. And I definitely think, and I had posted, people do such amazing artwork when I go online and I found so many these beautiful pictures of paramedic and Snake together.
Yes.
And her with like the question mark or Snake saying, "You want to have my babies?" And definitely, I think paramedic is she loves Snake. And whether she could be madly in love with him, I think that Snake is definitely her ideal person to be with. And I think that she is reserved and she decides within herself that she knows she's never going to be able to be with Snake, but she's satisfied enough to be able to take care of him in whatever way she can. And even if it's barking orders at him or talking over him, and he's just like, "Oh my gosh, I don't care about Abbott and Costello. I'm going to have nightmares." I just think that she adores him. I'd written something on Twitter, and I said, she just adores. She'd take a bullet for him. She would do absolutely anything for him.
Right.
As long as he's safe, then she's fine. Her heart is content. But yes, she definitely has that. Oh,
Yeah.
yes, she's very jealous of Eva. She definitely, yeah.
Freaking Eva.
Was like, why don't I get to wear that zip bikini thing?
Dang,
is true.
Susanna.
Damn her! You could just find out who she is.
Right?
Exactly.
It's a mystery.
Right.
It
Yeah.
is. That's kind
Truly.
of cool that it is a mystery, though, too.
It
you
is.
know,
Yeah.
It
you got
is.
a little. You got to have secrets.
It's a very Kojima thing to do. Just all
Very.
these, conspiracy, secret-y kind of things. Yeah.
I love it. I know Daly and I were talking about that, and he's like,
Right.
"Do you know?" And I go, "I honestly don't know." And I know that David respectfully said that maybe he does know, but isn't saying anything.
Right.
Yeah. No
And
one's
that's
saying anything. Yeah.
David's a very respectful person. He's one of
Right.
those, which is also it's very cultural for Japanese too. I mean, it's like when you say something to someone, they say don't say anything. They respectfully will take it to their grave.
Of course. No, that
That's
makes
true.
sense. And on
it's
that
true.
topic, did you work with other actors closely other than David? Really, it was just David?
Well, Jim, it was Jim.
Jim.
I had the major
Jim.
on one side, barking orders. And we love the major.
Yeah.
Just don't talk. It's like the whole Bond, James Bond,
Yeah.
and David. So it was very cool. I was very fortunate because I think the support of those two made everything much cohesive and much more fun and much I don't want to say easy because it's not. It just was so. It's so cool. It was just such
Sure.
We know what you mean. Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're definitely very, very sad to hear that he's not going to be coming back in the role. But, it happens. He's got some other stuff. And when we interviewed him here, he told us that we kind of sparked his interest back into Metal Gear. And he went back and watched some of his cutscenes and stuff that he was in. And we were definitely very honored to do that. And he was a really, really nice guy.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Well, you guys are so. I mean, you're very knowledgeable, and the passion and the three of you together, it works very well.
It's because we're
Oh,
cute.
It is
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
very
Yes.
cute.
This is the thing nowadays. This is what girls.
I know.
yeah.
It's like whose hand really is.
Yes, right. But read my mind. Our next question is from Ronin.
On it.
All right. So,
Get near the end here, so don't worry.
Yeah. I'll get pretty close. So the Metal Gear fan base, and I think I can speak for all of us when I say this, we all have lots of love for you and as paramedic in the game. So, is there anything that you would like to say to the fans out there watching right now that you perhaps haven't had really had a chance to say before?
Thank you. I'm just so grateful that they have taken time to call me up if they need any help. And it's just, again, as we talked about earlier, I'm really blown away by how many people have contacted me and have said, we love being able to know that you're there. And it's been huge, a huge thing in my life. I wouldn't probably even be on Twitter if it wasn't for the Metal Gear fans.
Wow.
And I just want to say thank you. Because honestly, I didn't know if anybody would talk to me. I didn't know if anybody would actually, So I was I was balancing it. I thought, well, let's see what happens, because again, it wasn't a huge major character, but at the same time,
it can be.
She was important.
It can be, exactly.
Yeah.
So I was really pleased, and I cannot thank people enough, and I love them too, genuinely, and not just saying that to
Of course.
Because that's what actors do, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love you. I love you.
Right.
Anyway, what's my next interview?
That was very Nanny Frankish right there.
Sorry. Yeah. I don't know why I do that.
It was great.
But no, I think that again, actors are funny. Jan could tell you they're a little
Absolutely.
You take them or leave them. Most of them I'd like to leave. What? But no, I think genuinely, I really am very grateful, Ronin, that everybody, that you guys bringing me on here. How long has it been since the game was out? And here you guys are bringing me on. I mean, it's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge to me. It's huge. No one has Skyped interviewed me before. This is my
really
ridiculous.
Yeah,
That's
that's crazy. That's
I know.
crazy.
Really, this is
you guys. Yeah.
world premiere.
World premiere.
Yeah,
Exclusive.
Yes.
in a galaxy far away.
That's right. Totoro, Totoro.
I think that's amazing. I had no idea. I figured we were just one of many interviews.
No, I've
Schedule.
done a lot of. Excuse me, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Dave.
No, it's fine.
I've done a lot of over the phone interviews,
Oh, okay.
and I did do some podcasts, but this is my first Skype, and thank you for helping me with it, by the
Sure.
way.
Problem.
Phone
Alright.
interview and this is not quite the same. This is the real interview. We got to see each other's faces and interact.
Right, it's
There
the
we
go.
real deal.
The real
My
deal.
makeup crew didn't come in.
Yeah, we're slacking. I know we're supposed to get you the green room and
I
makeup.
still love you. Still love you.
Make sure to get your trailer ready.
That's it. Yeah.
Gotta have a separate
Right,
studio.
Right.
Right.
Eventually we'll be there. But Yong has our next
You guys are
question.
great. You guys have a really great thing going. Don't stop what
We
you're
don't
doing.
plan it. I think we're.
Don't stop what you're doing. Yeah.
That's
Thank you so
right.
much. That's very
Right.
reassuring because a lot of people
Yeah.
tell me to go jump off a bridge.
Hey, so you do the same thing. Take it as a compliment. Take it as a compliment, because if you guys weren't doing it right, then you wouldn't have people questioning it.
That is true.
As long as they're talking about you, it doesn't matter if it's bad or good. They're talking about you for a reason. So keep it up.
So wise. So wise.
Definitely.
So paramedic.
Right?
Man, the knowledge is just
All right,
being dropped today.
Yes.
Blowing
No.
questions at you.
Oh, you have our next question, buddy. Go for it.
Yes. So you also played paramedic in Portable Ops, correct? So tell us a bit about that experience. How was it different from recording for Snake Eater? Which did you think you enjoyed more?
Oh, well, I have to say Snake Eater, because I was there with David and I was there with Jim, and it was just that huge kind of film crewish type
Sure.
thing. Big team of people that everybody, from the engineer on, we all were just a family. Doing the Portable Ops was fun too, because I got to go back and I really had to go, oh my gosh, okay, it's 1964. It's not, 2000 and something,
Yeah.
and I'm by myself. So I missed everybody. I did. I missed everybody. So I have to say Snake Eater hands down, and it was
Wait, so you didn't record with the other actors for Portable Ops?
no, I
Really?
didn't. I was on my own. All
Yeah,
on
I'm
my-
sure they kind of scaled it down since it was a PSP. It probably
Yeah,
wasn't
smaller
a
game.
probably didn't have as much of a
I
budget
see.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
to get everybody together.
I think I can hear the chemistry more in Snake Eater. Just
Yeah.
Right.
thinking back at the games, definitely.
Can you? I haven't
yeah.
played Portable Ops, so that's interesting to hear. I'm glad though. I'm really
Yeah.
glad.
Yeah, but no, fine performance in Portable Ops as well.
Oh, thank you. What? No, thank you. Snake Eater actually, it had that element. Absolutely.
All right, perfect. We're getting near the tail end of the interview here. So, Ronan, you have the next one. I think you have the next two, it looks like, on the paper here, before we hand it over to Yang
actually,
for...
Yeah. Weird.
Well,
but all right.
It works out. Just
Sorry,
if you do both of them, then Yang can take his last question and then get right into it.
Yeah,
exactly.
That works out.
Perfectly.
All right.
Best crew in the business here.
I know.
All right, Ronan, go for it, buddy.
So my next questions are going to hop out of the Metal Gear Solid scene for just a moment here. So your voice work, as you mentioned earlier, you did voice work for Chloe Valens in Tales of Legendia, for example. So in what ways would you say that Chloe and Paramedic compared or contrasted for you as a voice actress?
Chloe was, it's so funny because both of them are reserved in their own ways. Chloe was much more reserved.
Yes, for sure.
I think, definitely. And I think she had a little bit of a youngerness to her, and that could have been, her visualization also of what she is as a character. I loved Chloe because even though she was that type of a royal person, like Paramedic is, wants to do the right thing and might make the right choices. That's very much what Chloe is as well. Do the right thing.
Right.
And take my sword out and I'll cut you.
She kind of had like an ambition behind it too, because she had a dark past. Yeah.
Yes, that's a great. That's bringing up stuff. Now that you bring that up, I'm like, oh my gosh, you're right. She did, and she carried that with her, and that led her to, to make those decisions that she did make. But definitely, the past is what pushes her. The past of Paramedic again. That too, that could be correlated with that as well. The past of Paramedic and her having to prove herself.
Yeah.
Chloe, I think, has already proven herself. I think she feels that it is that, she is going to be the triumphant one and do the just thing. And Paramedic has the past of having to, I was considered a quack, and sometimes people, but you know what? I am who I am, and I'm going to prove that I am a good doctor. I'm going to take care of Snake, and the virtuous mission is going to be successful.
Right.
And but yeah, very, very, very similar, Ronan. That's a really good question. And I'd love to go back and I got to play both games.
It's funny because, like, for me, I played Metal Gear Solid 3 and Tales of Legendia around the same time. So when I heard that, I'm just like, this sounds like Paramedic, but I had no idea who it was doing the voice at the time because I never looked it up. But it's great to see that, get a chance to finally talk to the person behind the voices.
Definitely.
Thank you. I'm glad that you did play both games.
Yeah, I did.
I think, Heather, you said you do play some games, though, don't you?
I do.
Oh.
I think it's pretty
one?
cool. Normally we ask that question, and we have it in our list, but it looks like we skipped that one. Normally we ask, are you a gamer? So I think a real quick interrogative question would be, what kind of games do you play?
Yeah.
I love the Metal Gear games. I love the war games like Call of Duty, things like that. But I love, this is horrible, I'm trying to think of what is it called? This is terrible because I haven't jumped from the Metal Gear area, the PS4.
Right.
There's and this, you guys will have to help me out because I've got it in my mind. I actually had auditioned for it too. There's one game because I love the scary, so the Silent Hill type of stuff.
Yeah.
I love that stuff.
We interviewed Guy Seehey, the voice actor for Silent Hill 2.
Yeah.
In our show just the other day.
Is he a nice person?
Oh, yeah.
He's very nice.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Very, very nice.
That's good to know. Yeah, I love those games. I love the Silent Hill games. I'm trying to think of the game. You guys want to help me out. It's a game. There's a young girl, and the guy takes her and ends up protecting her, but she's the one. I'm trying to think.
The Last of Us.
The Last of Us?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We interviewed that guy, too.
Oh, my gosh.
Troy
Troy Baker. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that game. Love that game. I think it's so
fantastic
well
game.
acted. So
Oh,
well
yeah.
acted. Thank
Story was great.
And the
Definitely.
presentation, just the cinematography and everything.
Yes. Yeah.
Beautiful.
you. Can dive into that and just live that world. That's why I think I love gaming so much. And I'm a little older than you guys.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong.
Nobody can tell anyway. I mean,
Just a couple
Exactly.
months.
yeah, we all look so young. I mean,
It's clearly just a few months older.
Never too old to be a gamer. Never too old.
Never too old to be a gamer. And back in the day, I would play Myst.
oh
wow.
So cool.
A big Tomb Raider fan. I love
Nice.
Lara Croft. If I could be her, oh my gosh. Get English accents, and I'll be fine. Be fine. Just kill everything. Do the Tomb Raider thing and love it.
It's not half bad.
That's not bad. Thank you so much.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I'd love to play Lara Croft. Love to play. But the gal who does I love those games. I loved Myst. I love a game that, like we were talking about, that you can just escape into
get lost
that
in.
world. Get lost in. I think that's the best.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it, Young. Get lost in. Absolutely. Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Well, sorry for the interruption there.
Love it. You kidding
It's
me?
cool. No, it's cool. These are great questions.
Go straight into the next one, buddy.
Questions.
All right. So you've done lots of work for like TV shows and commercials and voice work for that as well. So can you tell us a little bit of just how you prepare for that type of voice work for perhaps much more brief instances like commercials, for example?
Doing commercials, depending on what it is. Is it for television? If it's for radio, and those scripts are, I would break those down completely differently. With television, you have the visual. So some things might be, for instance, for example, I was fortunate enough to do the voice of Keurig for quite a while. So you have the visual of the coffee and whatever, the agencies. So, and also things right now, it seems to be within the voiceover community in general with what people want is in fact, a lot of stuff says, we don't want an actor to read this. We want a real person. And you kind of go, wait a second, I am a real
What do you mean?
Talk about coincidence.
It's like, what? Do I have to? But you do. It's that they just want this, like say for television, for instance, this very natural. We're actually going to have breaths in there as opposed to cutting it so tight.
Right.
Again, you might have to cut it tight, though. With TV, you might not have the opportunity to have the breaths like you radio. Sometimes people actually add breaths to their auditions or to their reads. Interesting. Yeah, I just heard that the other day from a friend of mine who's a casting director. And she's like, oh, yeah, I always add breaths. And I went, really? I'm always taking them out. She's like, Heather, you need to be putting them back in. Television, again, you have the visuals. And I always tell people, read the visual side of it. Because most people just go directly to the voiceover side.
Right.
You need to know what you're experiencing in your head and talk to somebody like you would do young. I mean, like you would see a film or anything. It's very cinematic. You have to use your voice to create that world for people. Because like you said, if it's not believable to me, it sure as heck isn't going to be believable to you.
Right.
So, and then with radio, it could be maybe a little bit more higher energy, a little bit more like, I did some McDonald's spots recently. So it was like, the McCafe. It's like, go get stuff like that. So I hope that helps you. I'm trying to think what else Ronin would be like compared to like on camera versus.
Yeah, that works. That's a great comparison as well.
It's so similar because I mean you're basically when you're in the booth you're having to do the facial expressions. You're having to do everything as purely as you can and as you don't. My whole philosophy is like Spencer Tracy once said, don't act, just be. Some of the greats have said that, Stella Adler, all these wonderful people. So It is, I mean, you're obviously seeing the person, you're getting to see that person, and depending on what the character is, if it's for a television show or if it's for a sitcom or whatever that may be, then you break that down, respectively, or the show, what kind of a show, what's the vibe, you could be watching a Big Bang Theory, and I love it, what would you be doing? So, you go along with the vibe and everything, and hopefully you have a great director. That's all. I think you're really only as good as your director. I really do believe that. So, and Dame Judi Dench once said, I was watching her in A Little Night Music, and she said, I'm only as good as my director. Because honestly,
I hear that a lot.
Yeah, because you know, taking Dame Judi Dench, she even said, she goes, I can't sing. I'm not the best singer. But when you watch her doing a little night music, Sondheim, you are just in tears because she's in that. She is that. She feels everything, and you're like, wow. She may not have the voice. It's like when I did Cabaret. You know, people, oh, you know, Sally Bowles should have this great voice. I'm like, no, she shouldn't. Or two, she can't sing in the U.S. So where'd she go? Germany. Hello. You know, she's not going to have this fabulous voice, even though the film. But so it's all. Hopefully that answered your question.
Oh, that absolutely did. It definitely gave me a lot of insight into how that stuff works, and I appreciate that.
I love seeing her response, and then when we talk to other people like Quentin Flynn, who does some TV stuff, and Tasia Valenza, who does a lot of commercial stuff as well. I love like comparing and seeing like how they each have their own their own views, their own flavor. I feel like hers is really close to Quentin's.
Definitely.
Approach to it. Because he does that show, I'd Kill for You, and he does a great job in that. I love that show.
It's funny that you said that because when Quentin and I, because we were with the same agency actually, and so when I do get to see him, not often enough, but when I do, it's the prep work. He's a big prep person too.
Yeah,
I believe. That I know of. I mean, he really does care about whatever he's got in hand. And he even told me once, it's like, you have to go in and believe that you're recording like you have the job.
Yes, he said that to us a few times as well. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, he's great.
All right, so
there's a lot of syncing going on here between you and Quentin. Yeah,
he's great. I love Quentin. He's hilarious.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
But Young, you've got our last question.
Yes.
Heather, this is our last main question. He's got a few little community questions. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Young. Young, take it away, buddy.
All right, so for the last main question, the question of the century, which Metal Gear character do you personally find most attractive?
I think it's a given.
Yeah.
Snake.
Of course.
It's Snake.
Big Boss Snake or Solid Snake?
I just love Snake. It's they
look very similar.
They're very similar to most of the games, with the exception of 4, obviously, where you've got old Snake. But if you had to choose 60s Snake or post 2000, 60 Snake.
60 Snake, absolutely, hands down.
I'm sure David will love to hear that because that's his favorite game.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no contest there. It's a given.
There we go, folks. There we go. All right, so now we're gonna dive into some community questions. So a lot of these came from YouTube. So starting off with Liam Catterson from YouTube. Did you know that your character Dr. Clark is mentioned in the very first Metal Gear Solid game?
I forgot about that.
That's a great question, Liam. I did not know that until halfway doing the series. They're doing the recording. I had no idea.
Really?
When I first started. I actually had some friends they're friends now, actually some fans of the game that contacted me that I've gotten to know throughout the years. And I had a fan send me the book. The actual Metal Gear. I mean, so I was able to. Yeah, I mean, that's just wonderful people. There's no better people than gamers. I mean, they're some of the smartest people in the world. Honestly, they're just very, 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 very intelligent people. Absolutely. So I did not know, Liam, but now I do, and it was halfway through the game, and I was like, oh my gosh, I wish I could have been there. Yeah.
Right.
Or had known that background, but that maybe Hideo didn't want me to know.
The funny thing is, Dr. Clark was referenced as a male in Metal Gear Solid 1, actually. So that's crazy. Yeah.
Kind of the Fantastics. I'm playing all these.
Right, yeah.
Right.
It all
They
ties
need
together.
more female characters.
Yeah,
Do I have to be those who say, they need to do more female, centered characters. Thank you.
Agree.
I think so too.
Next question from Dennis Claros from YouTube. Have you ever tried some of the food that you talk about in the game? So you said you haven't tried the noodles, but have you tried, say, Calorie Mates and other stuff?
No, just glowing mushrooms.
Did it recharge your phone batteries?
Strictly mushroom glow cap diet.
Yeah.
Get it?
Exactly. I just, I started when I met David. He turned me on to the mushrooms. all Snake's fault. Just
Damn
went
it, Snake.
downhill
Oh
from
no.
Classic Snake.
Oh no.
when we were recording. Dennis. That's a good question, though. I haven't. I'd love to. Have you guys tried the calorie mates?
I
have
Really,
not.
did you try-
Yeah.
No?
I've seen it. I
I
mean, I've
have.
tried like instant noodles here and there, but I've never
Yeah,
tried
I'm a
calorie
big
mate.
noodle fan.
The
Yeah.
best way I can describe it, because I have tried the Calorie Mates, is imagine a Twix with no chocolate on it, and it's just that it's just the under part.
The cookie.
Without the caramel. It's the cookie part, but it's a little softer. That's the one that I had. It was chocolate, I believe. But I think it comes in different flavors, both sweet and savory. I bought mine on Amazon. They're like
Amazon.
They're
And
like-
it wasn't like it was actually fresh.
yeah,
They
it's
seal it, like-
it's sealed in like one of those silver
Like
bags.
Testing, that will
Yeah.
live forever, like a space. You go out.
Yes,
space
just like that.
Space
And they're really cheap. They're just like a couple dollars. I think it was like $1.60 for it, and then the shipping was like $3. So if I would have bought more, if I would have bought more, it would have been better. But the only bad thing is it takes forever to get there on regular shipping. 'Cause it comes from Japan,
Right.
so it takes quite a long time to get there. But
I have
it's worth it.
Another thing, that's what I'm going to do because again, the Japanese make things look so cool.
It does. I think one of the funniest parts was interviewing David Hayter and him going, "Oh, hold on," and he
Did he
pulled
eat
a box of calorie cake.
That's what I should have done. I should have hooked it up. I should have called David.
Yeah, so definitely, yeah.
He could probably hook you up. Yeah.
Yeah, he
urge you to
he
try some.
probably could.
Yeah. Give me
No.
some-
Yeah, you guys are right there. Yeah, I'm sure he's got a pallet in his house somewhere.
He probably does. I would not doubt it. I'm sure he does because he is so organized. Gosh, is he organized? It's great. And he speaks Japanese too.
Yes, he does.
Yes.
We should have
So I
asked
need to
him.
learn Japanese the next time, and I need to we'll just do a sleepover.
Right.
Watch the movies, eat Calorie Mates, talk, and do the instant noodles and have mushroom.
All right. Well, we're gonna schedule this out. All right. It's all gonna happen.
Yeah. Better.
Yeah.
Better do this guy.
All right. So, next question from Dijon Alexic from YouTube. How was it like going back to record some new lines for Snake Eater 3D? Was that true? You recorded some new lines for the 3DS version?
Gosh, this is terrible. I don't even
Oh wow.
Might have been just a couple of lines, which is
Yeah.
onto my IMDb page. I don't wait. No. With that stuff, I think it was very similar to doing the podcast. Yeah, very similar. I mean, but at the same time, very different because you're being brought back at different times, and
Yeah.
you've played the game. You've seen, you've got to study Hideo. You get to study you get to know the people, and yeah, it is. That's a Dijon. That's a great question because yes, it's different in the sense that you are in such a different space. You know so much more about
okay.
the world. So
That's
yeah,
cool. Gotcha. KMag32 from YouTube. Did you learn anything new from recording all your informational paramedic dialogue, stuff about plants and animals, all that sciencey stuff? Do you actually learn stuff from all that dialogue?
I still have my index cards. I wish I had them with me.
So crazy.
I think part of it was the whole ENS parrot, the ENS parrot and learning. That was one of the things that stuck into my mind just recently, actually, because of the, you learn so much. And I think I've learned so much more from the fans. There's things that they've said to me, like what I posted. I said, posted the picture of paramedic and Snake and that longing look or that caring look. And they were like, no, wait, that didn't happen. Whoa, Heather, that didn't happen in the game. And I go, no, it didn't, but she wished it would have. So I've really learned a lot. I did learn a lot of scientific stuff. I went back and watched a lot of movies like Dr. Strangelove and things like that to kind of just set me in that place. And also because I really wanted to be a part of the community that much more, not just somebody that just, voices. I wanted to be able to, and I've learned so much again from the fans. I learned a lot about when I turned into a patriot.
Wow.
You know, when I kind of went to that bad side of you know, that we get to now have economic control. But you know, wouldn't that be some? I mean, that'd be control of the military, who we decide is president. So I didn't think that some of that stuff was all, you know, it was the patriots rule the country.
Yeah, the world pretty much. Yeah,
world. Yeah.
Right.
So, well, maybe it's not a good thing that I rule the world, but
it's very much a perspective thing. If you think about the breakdown of the game, the Patriots obviously in the game standpoint are bad, but from an average American, they make sure that the country runs smoothly.
Right.
And there you go with the Dr. Strangelove thing, that maybe you might be fighting a bomb, you know, but you know, yeah. So, but yeah, I think paramedic would be writing a bomb.
There we go.
I think she would. I think that she's Peter Sellers, definitely.
Cool.
So yeah, I learned a lot about the Patriots, which is, what is it? The
Lolly Lulelo.
That's right, and that's a tongueful.
Yeah, definitely.
Lolly
Lalo. Yeah, Lalo. Yes, that's it.
Lalo.
Yeah, and it's funny, the Japanese can't pronounce L's, so they say, you know, something like that. Yeah.
Have you ever heard the Japanese version of the game do that? I've literally never listened to it.
Me neither.
Oh my gosh! You know, it's interesting that you bring that up, because with when I got to do Hagumi in oh my gosh, in Clover. Sorry guys, my pillows are slipping. I'm trying to look taller than I actually Honey and Clover. And I Hagumi's character, you know, when I went in to do that, and I was able to do the whole series, and we had to listen to the Japanese version prior to, and I thought that was going to be the same with the Snake Eater, but we didn't. And when I did Hagumi for Honey and Clover, I loved hearing the Japanese version, actually, because I know it was very time consuming, but because I was also doing a voice match.
Oh, right.
It wasn't separately. So, but the Japanese version, again, the acting, it really helped to hear the Japanese version of it, because that added to what I was trying to you know, portray as well. So, yeah, that's interesting. I'd love to hear the Japanese version of Metal Gear.
Yeah,
Solid Snake Eater. Yeah.
I've heard a bit of Snake, and he's got this really
Okay, now you have to do it. Yep.
You know, something like that. It's weird. It's very like deep and rough, and you know, it's.
Really
Was that kept you waiting?
Yeah.
Good. But that's capture waiting.
Yeah, that's kept you waiting, huh? Yeah. That's all I know, but
That was good. That was good. You do a good rocket punch too.
He has a deeper voice, whereas David has like high tones.
It's a gravelly.
Yeah,
it's much more gravelly. Yeah.
And that's really difficult. I don't know how David. I mean,
I don't know how he does it either. I really don't.
He protects his voice.
Yeah.
It's crazy because I try to do that.
Heather Haley for Snake, everyone.
Yeah, right.
Keeper, you got some competition.
Yeah, now Kiefer's got competition too, right?
That's right.
All right, Young, where are we at, buddy?
All right, RoboCop from YouTube asks, what is your personal favorite food? What makes you say, I want some more?
I want some more.
Yeah.
Mushroom. No.
Mushrooms. Bocap. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Anything peanut butter and chocolate. I love peanut butter and chocolate.
Same.
You guys can, man.
Same.
Peanut butter. Rub it all over my face.
There we go, folks.
All right.
What else I love? I have to say I'm more of a Vegisaurus.
Okay.
Than a Vitasaurus. So I do. I love. But I love Japanese food.
Right.
I love my noodles. I love all that stuff. But I'm a grilled cheese kind of girl too. A lot of my family's from Louisiana, so I love my Cajun spice. I love things really spicy, really spicy. And my family from Kansas City, they just can't believe. They're like, "Aren't you gonna eat a steak?" Barbecue. My poor mom, she's like, "Oh my God, it's so good. I'm taking you back to Kansas City. We're gonna get a steak." And I'm like, "Mom, I can't. I just." And that's part of paramedic too. She's like,
Right.
even though she tells him, "Yeah, you can eat it."
Yeah, I remember there's one where she's like, I'm not going to tell you how it
Yep.
tastes. You just
Yep.
got to try it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not gonna even go down that road, snake.
All right. Keith Lamb from Facebook asks, did you like the new Godzilla movie? The new one that came out recently.
I haven't seen it.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
There we go.
I know I haven't, Keith. I'm so sorry, but I have to be honest.
Don't.
No, absolutely. We love honesty.
It's okay. Honesty is great.
Amazing. I have to, because old school,
Mhm.
and a lot of people think, and I actually took a class on Russia. Speaking of Russian glow caps, Russia. Someone actually just sent a Skype request. That's the first time they've, besides you, and
I heard
did you hear it?
Yes.
Yep.
I took a class on Russia and China, and because a lot of people don't know that most people think Godzilla was made in China.
Really?
Yes, and the majority of the class went, "Oh, Godzilla!" Godzilla. I'm like, it's Japanese.
Wow.
I-
That's
Easy. The majority. I have to say
wow.
again with my night. I have to say almost 100% of the class thought it was China.
Oh, you've got to be.
Jeez.
Wow.
Like, how can you
Crazy.
not know that? And that was
crazy.
in a textbook that I had to, well, actually I was still in high school, so no, I didn't have to buy. But no, but it was actually in the text.
That makes me
That-
so angry.
I know. Maybe people have gone to see,
Jesus.
Yeah.
maybe people have gone to see the film, then they've got it, because I love all the Godzilla. I remember watching that as a kid, and my biggest thing too, and
Me
maybe
too,
it's
yeah.
a thing. They're just so good. I'd always my heart would break if with the flying turtle. I loved it's a man that I loved. What was the name of the flying turtle? Was it Mant?
Yeah, I know
We're gonna
what
have
you're
to-
talking about. I totally.
They all have weird names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Is it Manta? Should I look it up? I should look it up real quick. I just it break my heart though, like the Godzilla and then baby Godzilla. I'd be like, oh, because
Yes.
Godzilla is such a wonderful, he's
And
it's
the new one that you're referring to is the one with the guy from Breaking Bad in it,
Yeah, Bryan
right?
Cranston.
yes,
That one. Yeah.
yes, it's brilliant. I mean,
Oh, yes.
I've heard mixed things about it. I've watched most of it. I have Comcast, and whenever you try and watch anything from them, they like kill your internet, so they don't want you to watch their services. So every time I've tried to watch it, it was all stuttery, and I couldn't. So I haven't finished it, but.
I'm gonna go and watch it though. It's Keith that was it Keith that asked that from Facebook. I'm gonna definitely go on. I'm gonna
Yes,
Netflix it or something.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Gamera is the name of that flying turtle, by the way.
What is it again?
Gamera.
Gamera. Thank you.
There we
Is it in the new Godzilla?
No.
I don't think so.
Gamera. Thank you, Ronan. Thank
No
you.
problem. No problem.
I love that character.
Yeah. No, but the new Godzilla was good up until halfway. It was good
That's
for the
what I
first
heard.
half, and then the second
Oh,
half
yeah.
was just.
Yeah.
Yeah, because let's say that Bryan Cranston is in it for the first half, and then he isn't in the second half. And so whenever Bryan Cranston was in it, it was fantastic.
This is great. But did he get eaten? Does he get
Yeah.
eaten?
What?
Or,
I don't want to spoil it. No spoilers.
Yeah. I heard, that's what I heard. Is the first half is like a traditional kind of Godzilla movie, and then I heard the second half is like more like an action shooter movie. So I think that's
Yeah.
the problem. I think they're trying to go for that reach
Hollywood.
everybody kind of audience. As
Yeah.
Young likes to say, Michael Bayified.
Yeah. Michael Bayified. That's
Oh my God, that is so funny.
yeah. No, that
That's his point term.
there's no other way to describe those kinds of movies.
Bye.
All right, Young, continue, buddy.
Yes. Everardo Guzman from Facebook.
Guzman, Everardo.
Yeah, Everardo Guzman.
Everardo. I need to.
Yeah, roll the R's.
Roll the R's.
So he asks, do you know paramedic's real name? Ooh.
Ah! Yes, I do. I
Wait,
believe
seriously?
I
Really?
do believe I do. It kind of goes in and out, my memory. Because we all know that she's Dr. Clark.
Yes.
We all know that.
Yes.
But when I first, ready for this? When I actually first read the script it was placed as Naomi Hunter.
Oh wow.
Wait,
Whoa.
what?
When I first read, not the actual script I meant, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
the audition.
Yeah. Oh wow. Huh.
So
Was that a placeholder or something, or?
you know
Might
what?
have been.
Good question, but in what I for paramedic for me,
Yeah.
she was Dr. Clark. I mean,
Yeah,
she was
yeah.
Right.
Clark, not Jane Doe, not
Yeah.
she didn't. Because it was never given to me.
Oh,
It was
okay.
never given to me that she should have a name. To be
Okay.
very honest
Right.
with you, I'm just
Right.
telling you visually what I had seen, and I thought, well, what am I gonna? That's where when I kind of thought of the different films and stuff, because she was such a film buff. So I'm like, well, wait a second, I'm a film buff. You know, paramedic's a film buff. What would she be? What little different characteristics might she be? And that's why I came up with Long Kiss Goodnight. Because I see her making that, you know, that transition of being the, you know, the kind of the, you know, very and just like, you know, total kick ass.
Gotcha.
So
I wonder if they did that on purpose.
I don't know.
They
and
might
I,
have.
Because Naomi Clark or Naomi Hunter is the Naomi Hunter is actually a character in the
First,
regular
first and
games.
fourth, yeah.
And
right, so when you said placeholder, that's exactly. I don't know. It was honestly never given to me, so
Interesting.
I just felt like that needed to be made for me. I needed
maybe
to.
that's
make that
Naomi's
one.
real
Yeah.
mom.
Interesting.
It could
Dun
be.
dun dun.
There's more. That's why I need to make sure that
And
there's
the
more.
plot thickens.
I know.
Hopefully, we'll find out on the first.
Yeah. So far, Dr. Clark and Quack. Those are the two names given to
Yep.
Call me Quack anytime. Anytime. That's Miss Quack to you.
you. Miss Quack. Yes.
That's
All
right.
right, so we're
Lord Quack to you.
pretty close to the end here, right?
Yes.
Dame Quack. What's that, honey?
I was asking y'all where we're at. I lost.
Yeah, we've only got like two
Yeah.
more questions.
Okay.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
Metal Gear Solid Fanboy 84 from YouTube. What did you love most about voicing paramedic?
Everything.
There we go.
So nice to have a job.
That's a
It was so nice to be working.
That's a good thing to
Oh
love.
my God.
Lord.
It was a great job. I was very fortunate. I loved it. I loved everything. I loved
Sure.
showing up for work. I loved finding out new things. I loved getting to know David and Jim, and it's just everything about her. And again, leading to being able to be interviewed by you guys, meeting. And I know Fanboy. I have seen Fanboy before on Twitter. So what's up, Fanboy? I loved everything. There just really isn't anything because it just keeps getting better with time.
That's
It really does. I meet more and more people. I'd love to go. Something I'd love to do is I'd love to go to like Comic-Con but I don't
Oh,
know.
you should. Yeah.
I would love to, but I might be walking around going, "Hey, did you see the paramedic on there?" Oh, Quint! I'll go
Yeah.
sit next to Quint.
There we go. Yeah. You guys get like a whole ensemble together. Quentin,
That'd be
David,
Yeah, that'd be
and
great.
paramedic, Jim Piddock, everyone.
Love that. What's the film? Was it Galactic? What was the great film with it? Had Tim Allen and where they were the
Oh.
Galactic. Remember you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yes,
I
I
do.
can't remember the name of the movie.
We got another one. It's another one, Ronan. I'm
You gotta
looking at
watch
Ronan.
Yeah,
You
I'm just
gotta.
like,
You
this
need to
is-
make us a list. You gotta
Roman's
compile
already
a list.
Seriously, I'm just like,
You gotta be paramedic and give us all the movies you should watch.
I should have planned ahead of time, but it should have been better prepared. Yeah. It's not 1964 anymore. Get with it. Galactica? No, it wasn't Galactica. But Tim
can't
Allen, I
remember.
think,
I
Sigourney
remember-
Weaver, and it had the brilliant one of the
Galaxy
best- it was
Quest?
Harry
Oh, this
Potter.
is starting to sound familiar now.
Galaxy
Yep.
Quest.
Okay, all right.
Chat
Yeah,
chat nailed it
Galaxy
too at the
Quest.
same
Yep.
time.
Thanks,
Yep.
guys.
Way to go,
Awesome.
chat.
Way to go,
Very
chat.
nice.
Right on, chat.
So it's the pleasure of having we have 330 people watching right
I
now.
know.
It's good.
Thank you all, each and every one of you. God bless you. Oh my.
Indeed. Indeed.
That's a lot of thank yous.
How do you say thank you in Japanese? We're gonna say
Arigatou gozaimasu. Yeah.
arigato. Yes. What was that again, y'all?
Oh, I said-
Arigato.
Yeah. I added the gozaimasu there at the end.
Gomaisas. I need my brother too. Arigato.
Yeah. Arigato is just fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, arigato, people.
Arigato.
Gracias. Thank you.
Thank you.
감사합니다. Grazie.
감사합니다.
all the languages.
We got one more, right?
Yes.
Yes.
This one
Right.
comes from like everyone. Multiple users ask, "Do glowing mushrooms recharge batteries, and where do we find them?"
Yes. Am I not glowing? I told you, David Hayter and I. Hater's the one. Hater's the one with the mushrooms.
Oh,
He's,
right,
He's
okay.
our guy. If
Seems
we
like
can get it, I'm telling you, he is so organized.
Okay. We will ask him for
And-
some.
Please do, because I really wanted him to incorporate the glowing mushrooms into Watchmen, and I
Didn't happen.
was a little disappointed.
maybe with wolves
You
too.
know, now I'm disappointed at the movie.
Yeah,
Exactly.
no, it kind of ruined it for me, but I like. Dave is like, I'm clicking her off on my Twitter. Yes, they can be found. Definitely, everyone. And again, I think we should get a community of everybody together. It'd be so cool to just have David and Quinn, everybody together, and have some mushrooms and glow.
Sounds good.
that would be
It's
great.
a plan.
It'd be awesome. It's a date.
It's a
We're getting
date.
close. We had David and Quentin on an interview at the same time.
L'Oreal.
Right.
I'm gonna be
L'Oreal.
on.
Yeah, maybe we can get you and
Yeah,
Lauren
yeah, that'd
together
be
at
nice.
the same
Oh,
time.
that'd
That'd
be
be
awesome.
Yeah, that'd be great.
She's a doll. I would love that. That'd be great.
All right,
Awesome.
well,
Awesome.
we've got plenty of time to work it out. So, we've got each other's phone numbers, so we'll figure it out. I think
All
it'll be
right.
great.
So yeah, that concludes all of the questions.
Oh,
Yeah, I know.
thank you so much, guys. I had such a great time. I'm sad, but at the same time, I'm very appreciative to you and to everybody that actually took the time to watch. It's awesome.
Definitely.
Thank you.
They're going to go up on YouTube, so anybody who missed it live will be able to, watch it forever now.
Very
But
cool.
we're not quite done yet. We've
Oh.
got we have a couple lines that we would like you to read for us, like we talked about before, in
Yes.
your paramedic voice.
I love the quotes that you guys have picked.
Oh yeah, we know our quotes.
Fun. You know your quotes. I gotta give
Right.
you that.
Yeah, that's the great thing is when
are
I got in my accident, I hadn't updated the sheet yet, and when I got back, y'all had all the quotes, and I was like, those are the same ones I would have picked.
Yeah.
That's so
Yep.
cool. That's so
So
cool.
that's
And you are feeling better though, right?
yes, ma'am. I'm feeling much better. I'm getting there. First round of physical therapy today. Tomorrow's another day, and
All right.
getting better from here on out.
Getting all
All
big
right.
boss on us.
Seriously.
Now go.
Big boss.
Yeah.
Eye patch coming soon.
Yes. All right. All right.
Tomorrow's interview will be with an eye patch. I will find one.
Who are you interviewing tomorrow? Are you
Tomorrow-
interviewing?
Excuse me.
Who are you interviewing tomorrow? I forgot. On Friday. Do you have?
Tomorrow we are interviewing Robert Peeler. He is the community manager for Metal Gear Solid 5.
Very cool.
Be the last media group to interview them before the new game comes out on Tuesday.
I know. Are you guys excited?
So
Yes.
excited! I think everything.
Very.
This is the only way to pass the time.
Yeah.
It really is. It's
Now,
the only
slightly
way.
less
It is.
excited now that we know you're not in it, but you
Yeah,
know,
of course, exactly.
I'll
That was
kind
a-
of forgive him.
Yeah. Well, you guys will have to let me know.
All right.
We will. We will definitely.
Absolutely.
All
Absolutely.
right.
I'm
So,
not play it too, but yes.
do you need Yang to send you the lines, or do you have them?
Have them right here, actually.
Sweet.
Very
Here,
much
I'm
prepared.
first one.
Right.
Are you ready for me?
Yes,
You ready?
take it away.
All right. Well, my reputation is spotless. I'm highly skilled, patient, and good looking to boot. Everybody wants to interview me. What else would you expect? The Russian glow cap, take two. Grr. The Russian glow cap is a glowing mushroom, so it'll recharge your batteries when you eat it. Don't know, this is for you guys. This is for you guys, okay? Are you listening?
Yes.
Don't know how to start the interview? Here, let me explain. Just hover the mouse cursor over to play the button. Just hover the mouse cursor over to the play button and click. No, really. And someday they might, let me take that again. No, really. And someday they might make interviews. They might make interviews. Let me take that all group in a row here. Oh my gosh. I need a mushroom stack.
No worries. We can edit this and it's gonna look
No,
good.
it's good because we're live. All
Right.
right.
Okay.
That's true.
Don't know how to start the interview, fellas? Well, Here, don't know how to start the interview? Let me explain. Just hover the mouse cursor over to the play button and click. No, really. And someday they might make interviews.
Yes.
That's great.
Fantastic.
Nailed,
All right.
nailed it on the last one. Just nailed. That was great.
It's not the 60s anymore.
Fantastic.
Love it.
You still, I mean, it's like some people I know, like their voice slightly changed, and
Right.
they don't like Jim Piddock. Actually, his voice is a little deeper than it used to be. So it's like a deeper, older version of Zero. With you, it's like you still sound just like Paramedic. A lot of good memories.
I'm smoking cigars, so that's good. It's Snake and I, and we hang
Just celebrating, yeah.
Right.
Thank you, though. Thank
No,
you.
yeah, no, thank
It's
you. That was
Been a
awesome.
pleasure.
Thank you.
Been a pleasure. So we're going to keep in contact with you. Hopefully, maybe we can have you and Lori on at the same time. We're definitely looking forward to anything you have upcoming, and hope we can have you back on the show again soon.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Heather. You've been
guys.
lovely. Is there anything else you'd like to say before you leave?
Just thank you so much, and continue with good sex. What? It just came out.
We will do that.
Love it.
Paramedic, everyone.
Right.
That is fantastic.
Paramedic XXX edition.
I'm trying. I'm milking it as all I can.
Right.
Continued success for the three of you and all your endeavors. And just thank you to everybody that watched. And I hope to share new stuff in the future. And I'm trying to go into a little bit of a hosting situation as well.
Ooh.
So I'm hoping that something will come up in the hosting world too for me. So we'll see. I've been able to actually interview Lorraine Warren. And that we know all from The Conjuring, who's
Yes.
James Wan.
Yeah.
Whom I'm a huge James Wan fan of Insidious. And not to go back into movies, but I was very fortunate to interview Lorraine Warren, who the movie is based on, the Warrens, Ed and Lorraine Warren. So as you know, Vera Farmiga and Jason Patrick. So I'm really excited to go more into that area too. So we'll see.
Sounds
shall
good.
see.
Awesome.
Yeah, keep
Thank
us
you so
updated.
much.
Thanks, guys. Definitely will. Look out for The Conjuring 2. I think that's coming up soon. Next year.
Oh,
They should do a
I'll be watching
Conjuring
it.
game.
I'll be watching it.
Conjuring the games. You should
James
be.
Wan-
Maybe that's where they can get Kojima and Del Toro together.
I'm telling you,
There you go.
it's not, they need to book us for some voices.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
I concur.
All right. Well, thank you so much,
Guys.
Heather. You've been amazing.
Love you too.
Dong, Ronan, anything else before we let her go from you guys?
I mean, just again, thank you for this interview and just for all the awesome memories you've given us and for all the awesome moments and all the smiles and everything you've done. Truly
Very-
just stellar job with everything.
Yeah, the,
Pleasure, and thanks for everybody watching too. Ronan, thank you too.
thank you. Thank you for all the labs and the information that you gave us as well. It was fantastic getting a chance to sit down and talk with you. Really appreciate it.
Likewise, honey. Thank you.
All right, Heather, have a great day.
All right, guys. Bye.
Bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was our interview with Heather Halley. Stay tuned. We're going to do a quick 5-minute post show because we had a long interview today. Going to run a quick commercial break while we set up the cameras. We'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Thank you for joining us for the Heather Halley interview. It was very fun. She was hilarious, very nice lady, and I love the the live kind of voice acting that she'd have to end for us. Where most of the guys they nail it or they'll stop and start over. She was continuous, just nailed it back to back. And then if she messed up, she even still rolled with it, which I assume that's kind of what you do in the booth. Even if you mess up, you just kind of keep rolling and. I think that was really cool. So, did you guys enjoy it?
Oh man, it was fabulous. She's such a cool gal. I just want to hang out with her. Just I don't know. I want we could talk for ages. I feel.
Right?
Yeah, sleepover. Watch the movies and no, she's.
You just sit down and talk about horror films all night long, and I'd totally be okay with that.
Very knowledgeable lady, and she was a gamer too, which was cool. That was awesome.
Yeah,
I definitely enjoyed that. It felt good to get back in here with you guys. Like I said, it's been we missed last week. I did the SOF interview myself on Monday. It's good to finally get back in here with you guys.
Kept you waiting, huh?
Exactly. So. Real quick, we're going to do a quick little post show. It's not going to be very long at all, guys, so listen up because we got some good info coming for you. Tomorrow we have Robert Peeler coming from the Metal Gear Solid 5 guys. Production staff. I know he's the community manager. He's been doing the Let's Plays with Greg Miller, and he's knows a lot about the game. Apparently, listening to those Let's Plays, he's got a couple hundred hours in the game already. So very knowledgeable. We'll be taking questions for that. I don't think anybody here has a video out like announcing it yet. So those of you that are here that want to submit questions, please do so. Just keep in mind that we're not doing any story questions. If you got a question about the story, don't bother posting that one. Just wait. It's only a couple more days before the game is out. But if you've got like mechanics questions, if you've got questions about Metal Gear Online, anything like that, we'll take those. And with the regards of Metal Gear Online, we'll take most of those. I think Robert might not be like the first and foremost like knowledge base on Metal Gear Online, but he did say he would take those questions. Just keep in mind that he's not, like Sean Eyestone or what's the other guy, Jackie or whatever. So he might not be into as Metal Gear Online as those guys, but he knows about the mechanics. Like you said, he's got over a couple hundred hours in the game. Very knowledgeable guy, and he looks like he's great fun.
He was at the review event, and any questions I asked him, he would immediately know exactly
Perfect.
what to say.
So if you got questions, be sure to come in tomorrow. We also have some giveaways planned. We're giving away some membership keys to the stream here, so you can use the emojis and you'll get some early access to some stuff. And we're actually doing this will be the first time Young and Ronin have heard of it, but we're actually going to let a select few subscribers come into the Skype call tomorrow to ask Robert a question. We've already talked to Robert about it. He said it's fine. So if you are a subscriber, you'll be able to come in if you're picked and ask Robert a quick question that you have, or you can just submit the question to us and we'll make sure we ask it. That's the only way to get your question guaranteed asked. So thank you to all of our subscribers, and this is our kind of a token of appreciation for you, is making sure we get your thing asked there.
And real quick, for people that are mentioning this in the chat already, please refrain from asking questions about Kojima or the situation that's going on with Konami right now. Just avoid.
We're not
avoid doing that. We're not going to talk about that.
All focused on the game. Everybody's super excited. Young posted a little message yesterday on Facebook about how much he wants to play the game, even after playing like, what'd you say, 40 hours?
Yeah, 40 hours. Withdrawal, man. It's
jeez.
Oh, dude, it's so much tougher to wait after you play the game.
Yeah,
because you know what you're getting into. You know how awesome it is.
Right.
So, yeah, that's the first thing. We're gonna save the big stuff that's been going on in the week for tomorrow's post show, since we have a show for you tomorrow as well. We got a couple little things that I'd like to talk about then, so we'll hold off on that. But today we also had Young posted a video in which he did some hilarious voice acting. It's definitely something you guys got to watch. Ronin, if you could hook the chat up with a link, that would
absolutely
be perfect. Young, tell us a little bit about it. Who's this collaboration with? What was the idea behind it?
Well, I was approached by a man whose username is Bal, B-A-L, and he said, "Hey, I'm doing this little animation. You want to, do some voice acting for it?" I'm like, "Sure. What is it?" He said, "It's just, parody of all the conspiracy theories that have been floating around the internet." So he just sent me a script, and I said, "This looks fun," and I said, "I'll definitely do this." And I did my best Kiefer, Ishmael, Doctor,
played
and Kaz impressions.
Every character in there, didn't you?
Yeah, I played every character in there, and it was a good voice acting exercise, and also it was just a lot of fun to do. And yeah, it's posted on his channel, Bal something. Ronin will post the link.
Get it.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, I hope it's funny for you guys. I hope you guys enjoy it because we spent a good amount of time working on it, and I think we like what we came up with. So yeah,
I think it was perfect timing. Just a couple days before the game is released, and like you said, we definitely got to hear a good range from you. We know you want to be a voice actor at some point, and we definitely got a little taste of what you can do there. The different things. My favorite part was where's David Hayter?
Where's David Hayter?
Yeah, great. That was awesome.
My Jack Bauer scream.
Yeah.
I've watched so much 24. I know exactly how he screams.
It's on point. It's on point.
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, that was a good time, man. I'm definitely glad you got to do that. So before we go over to Ronin Young, tell us just a quick little bit about what you've been up to. You've got the retrospective going on. I know some people are wondering where's yesterday's.
It's uploading like right now, literally like right now, because
Okay.
I fell asleep last night because I was just exhausted. I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a break because when I'm sleepy, I just can't, like, my voice, like when I read the script, it comes out all jergly. So I took a little break, and it turned out to be like a good 7-hour break. So I'm uploading it right now, and day 4 will come out tonight, maybe a little past 12. I don't know, we'll see. But it's happening.
Okay.
It's just with the review event and all these other things going on,
Right.
I've just been juggling too many things. But so that's happening. The retrospective. I'm gonna try to get a video review out as soon as I can film footage on the game, and as soon as I can get something together, and as soon as I finish the game, because even after 40 hours I actually couldn't finish the game. And yeah, this game's insane.
Wow.
Insanely
That's awesome. That was that's the last thing I wanted to ask you is how did the review event go? Did you have a good time there, and any kind of noteworthy things that you can tell us about?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, first of all, I went to Konami LA, and something I want to point out is that with whatever the Kojima-Konami controversy is, it has nothing to do with those guys. Those people over there are Konami LA, some of the coolest people I've ever met. They did a fantastic job organizing the event. The food they provided was just, oh, man, they had such good food. But no, they organized it very well. They answered any questions that I had, and the game was there, and we played it for however long we could. And they actually, at one point, they actually extended the amount of time. It was supposed to be from like 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. They actually let us stay till 12 a.m. So
Wow.
that wasn't supposed to be the plan originally, but they saw how much we got into it, and they were like, yeah, well, fuck it. Well, let's just extend the time. So, they're really cool. And so the event was very well organized. It went really well. We got a really good taste of the game, and holy shit, is it delicious. Damn, you guys are in for
food was
a
delicious,
treat.
game was delicious.
game was
Yeah, the
delicious
food
too.
was delicious, game was delicious, the whole thing was delicious. No, trust me, this is the game of the year. I'm calling it right now. I know Fallout 4 is coming out, but I'm for me, this is my game of the year. This game is ridiculously awesome.
I'm right behind you on that, man. I think from what I've seen already, I can just see that it's going to be a contender, if not the game of the year. And that's just from what I've seen. I haven't been to a review event, and so I'm sure there's a ton of things that I haven't seen.
Dude,
and,
I'm so jealous. I wish I could just wipe off everything that I saw there and replay the game just to experience the epicness all over again. Trust me.
So last thing is, so you went to the other event, or E3, and you got to do a demo there, right?
Yeah.
You told us a little
1
bit
hour.
about it. It's the cause rescue mission or whatever.
Yes.
Following that, now you've been to the review event. Did you get to go back and play the hospital scene and all that kind of stuff? Do you have your full experience now?
Oh yeah, no, that's how the game starts. So yeah, I booted the game, and as soon as it was a new
so
game.
You played it just like it's in entirety?
It's the full
awesome.
game. It was the full game, minus the ending. That's the only thing they excluded from Okay, I don't want to get into it. Just they excluded the ending because they didn't want us to spoil it. But
yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah, but everything else was literally just the game, how in its entirety, how it would ship to you.
Oh, very cool. So that's exciting, man. I'm glad you got to do that. That's an amazing experience, I'm sure. So
that intro, man. Holy shit. That's all I'll say.
I can't wait until it's out and we can talk about it. Hopefully, on the I believe it's the 4th. Is the next Codec episode. Sure. So hopefully we'll be able to talk a little bit about it. Obviously, we won't go super deep spoilers. Some people might not be able to get the game, when it first comes out. So maybe we'll just talk about the first couple missions and a little bit about the hospital scene and stuff like that. So make sure you guys tune in for that one. I don't think we're going to schedule a guest for the 4th, though. I think because Chris Zimmerman wants to come on, and we were going to schedule her on the 4th, but she has a charity dinner, and she cannot make it. But she wants to come on with Paul Eiding, so I think that's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun. Exactly. I think it's going to be a fun time. But thank you for the updates, Young. As I said, we've got some other things to talk about, but we'll handle that in tomorrow's show. Ronin, what's been up with you, man? It's been a week. The fans want to know where you've been. What have you been up to?
I've been up to lots of things happened to my face. Family events happened, and I had to go.
So young. So young.
I had to go Senor Smooth.
Senor Smooth.
But yeah, but for the past few weeks now, I've been doing the Metal Gear Solid / Kojima month thing. So I've been playing through all those games. I've basically finished them all, at least the ones that I wanted to get through. I would say.
Except Peace Walker, which you won't.
Except Peace Walker. There's reasons for that,
Just say
man.
it. Just tell us.
There's
why.
There's reasons for
I said
that.
in the chat, I was there. I was watching his stream from the hospital because I had everything else to do.
Of course, you got yelled at for it too, which is great.
I said, so why do you hate Peace Walker? What's wrong?
I don't hate Peace Walker. I love Peace Walker. I just hate the way it's structured. It does not make for a great streaming game because of the way it's structured. Because you're sitting down for long sessions when you're streaming, and that game is broke up into missions, missions and side ops.
Like mini
and sometimes
missions.
Sometimes they will end like 5 minutes in, and then you're out to the next mission. So it's kind of like, love the gameplay, just hate the way the mission structure is handled. And I'm guessing the Phantom Pain doesn't do any of that.
Oh,
no. Okay, thank
No, it does
God.
not. Yeah.
Well, I did hear from Yang though that there is one part that's kind of like it, where you've got you referred to it as like a Zadornov mission sequence.
Yes. Well, it's.
I fucking hated those missions. I literally.
It's not.
Never...
No, the missions are. I'm just saying the structure of it, where you have to do that same thing over and over and over again. There is that towards the end, and that kind of slows everything down. But it's not hide and go seek. It's another type of mission that's more fun, but it's still the fact that you have to do it over and over again still is kind of frustrating. But it's not terrible.
Yeah.
I never played that game until I think it was last year, or the year before, and I literally thought that my game was skipping or it wasn't saving because I did it like the first time, and then I had to do it again. I was like, wait, what? I just did this, and then I after like the third or fourth time, I finally read the little bio, and I was like, oh, he's just escaping again and again and again.
Yeah, no, it was bullshit. Yeah, no. I hated Zadornov.
And then
It was PT before it was PT.
That's one way to put it.
So, what about your podcast, man? You got? Are you back on rails with that? I know you had to miss the week before.
Yeah, we're getting back on that pretty soon. I got to make sure. I think my co-hosts are coming back this weekend for that. So we'll probably just might have an episode for you in store for you guys on Sunday this weekend. So I'll be looking forward to that. We got a lot to talk about and a lot of things to catch up on. So it might be a lengthy episode this time around.
I think our post show tomorrow is going to be lengthy. I got a lot of things I want to talk to you guys. There's some happenings in the world, but have you gotten the older episodes archived up on YouTube yet? Are you slacking, man?
I wish I could, man, but the fact that this podcast with me and my co-host, it started back in the early Twitch days.
Right.
I'm still on Twitch. And all those episodes kind of got lost in the ether once we made the move. So a lot of those episodes they're not available. And I do apologize for that for those that are trying to play catch up. There's quite a few of you out there that are. But for the most part, all the episodes following the recent events of me getting up on YouTube will be up on YouTube, except for the last one, which also got lost to technology, as some would say.
Damn technology.
Damn technology.
Look, I love our partners here at Hitbox, but I really, really, really hate that there's no download option from the site. That really, if anybody from Hitbox is watching, please. I know you have push to YouTube. Can you push to my computer? That would be great. So
push to my hard drive, please.
I think that's gonna about wrap it up. I did want to mention that. Damn, I forgot, so I didn't want to mention it anyways.
Right.
Tomorrow we got the show and we've got giveaways and stuff. So make sure you guys tune in. Then it's time to say goodbye, Ronin.
Oh, really? Do I have to go?
Yeah, we've only been here for 2 hours.
Oh, this means I have to go. This means I have to go do stuff now. But all right, guys, thank you all for watching and hanging out. I do appreciate the support in the chat. You guys were fantastic, in fact, during all the chaos that was the interview and the good times that we had. I also want to thank all the viewers who have stopped by my streams over the past 2 weeks during the marathon. You guys are fantastic. I've got a lot of love and support.
You've been killing it, man. You've been killing it. I
from the
watch your
views.
stats.
Yeah, I've been watching them too. I shouldn't be doing that, but yeah, I watch those too. I'm just like, man, this is fantastic. So I do appreciate you guys stopping in, hanging out, bringing the support. I met a lot of new faces in the process. This has been a fantastic experience for me as a broadcaster to watch the community grow and escalate. So thank you guys once again for that. And to all the newcomers out there, you know where to find me. You know where to find me. They'll post links in the chat. But anyways, as always, thank you guys for watching. We will see you all during the next interview. This is KorruptRonin telling you guys to stay classy, stay sharp, don't do anything I wouldn't do, and I'll see you guys next time.
He definitely will, and thank you so much, Ronan. For me, guys, I just wanted to finish the quick thing that I was telling everybody before, because I got a lot of messages. My phone was like blowing up during the interview about me coming back, and like I said, I thank everybody for wishing me well. I was telling Ronan what happened in the car accident. Just real quick, for those of you who keep asking, a guy turned into me into oncoming traffic. After the accident, I got out of the car. This is where I stopped. I was calling mom, right? I was telling Ronan I was calling. The first person I called as I'm stumbling out of the car is my mom, like literally like just seconds after. Then I called my gym partner and told her I'm not going to make it. So I literally just got in a car accident. I'm not going to make it. I'm falling on the ground now. I roll over and I pull up my texting and I text Yong on Facebook, or not Facebook, but on Skype, and I text my boss. I was like, "Hey man, I just got in a car accident. Can you tell Ronan and Yong?" And I text Yong, I was like, "Hey man, I just got in a car accident. I just want to let you know. Just want to get all my priorities in order before I died, or the police trying to know what was going to happen." So yeah, and then after I called mom, called my gym partner, texted my boss and Yong, then I called an ambulance. So that was my thought process.
Could be like your guts could be spilling on the sidewalk, but you made sure you texted everybody not essential first.
That's what somebody one of the older gentlemen at the scene was like, "What are you doing, man? Like, I got business that I gotta take care of. I don't have time to be hurt." So
I saw the message like a day later because I was still at the review, and I felt really bad about that. I was like, "Oh shit, wait, are you okay?"
But, yeah, definitely funny. I really probably should have just called an ambulance, but I had to handle the business. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I had a great turnout today, great audience, and we definitely appreciate that. We are bringing 3 episodes of the Codec to you this week. We had one Monday, one today, one tomorrow. You can follow us on Twitter at _Codec. You can follow us on Facebook. It's the Codec. A lot of people say they can't find it, so I constantly kind of post it on Twitter. Granted, we're more active on Twitter than anything. And then also, I just uploaded 4 more episodes of the Codec to the podcast garden, which I post as well. It's on iTunes now as well. So if you have use iTunes, you can just put in the Codec under podcast, and we should pop up right there, so you can listen to this on the go if you're in a country that doesn't allow you to use the internet a lot, which is surprisingly a lot of people apparently have like data caps. And our interviews are pretty big, long, and during today.
I'm sad that is still a thing today.
Me too. It's ridiculous. So for you guys, yes, we definitely have the MP3 versions, and I just wanted to let you guys know we've done a lot of episodes. We're on episode 17 of the official, like since we dubbed the show the Codec. Shit. But our interviews stretch back like 8 or 9 more, like before we decided to have this name. And so I really didn't notice like how many we've done until I started uploading them to the podcast garden.
Old.
Yeah, I know, right? Like if you think about it, 17 episodes is 17 weeks. So we've been at this a while, man. Like we're gonna have to have like an anniversary birthday party here soon.
Next thing we know, we're gonna be all old and saggy. Next episode.
We're gonna be old Snake. Yeah.
I'm an old man now.
Nasty old Snake cough. Yeah, we'll be turning 1 on March 21st. That was our first interview.
Yes.
So thank you guys so much. It's been great. Sorry for the long outro, but Yong, it's your turn. Take it away, my buddy.
Thank you for tuning in, folks, to another episode of the Codec. As always, subscribe to all of our channels and Twitters and whatnots. We're all great people. We all do awesome things. And look forward to a ton of Metal Gear content. It's almost here, guys. Just, 4 days? A little over 4 days to go. And it's going to be here. I'm telling you right now. It's awesome. And you're going to love it. and holy shit. That's all I'll say. And with that, I will see you guys next time. Young out.